I'm the flyest in the room, ask around. I'm a G, flying through the city, hitting high speeds. Phasers on my feet.
Alright. What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video. I'm here with my good friend, Coy Shane DeWeese. He was my left tackle in high school, was a stud defensive end. I think he played a little bit of nose, played a little bit of middle linebacker. He was pretty much a jack of all trades on defense. Had a very successful career at CNU for 4 years, and now he's killing it at Limestone College in South Carolina. So I appreciate you being on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So the first thing that I kind of want to get into is I get a lot of questions about how am I going to get recruited. I'm at a small school. My coach isn't helping me a lot. I'm putting my highlight tape out there, but I'm just not getting anything. Is there anything that you could, any tidbits that you can kind of give, high schoolers that are trying to get their name out in front of the coach?
Well, first off, okay, first things first is your head coach. All right, he's not responsible for your recruiting.
Definitely.
You have to take it on yourself. Whether it's you or your parents, your families, whoever is helping you out to get recruit, it's on you. You're going to go as far as you take it. The head coach has, a lot of other things to worry about. He has his own team he's got to take care of. He's got his own, summer workout, whatever.
Busy.
Yeah, very busy, as you can imagine. So with that being said, you have to ask yourself, first off, okay, is your highlight film a true highlight film? It's not one of those things where, you might play running back and you might break a tackle at 4 or 5 yards and then, get another 15. It's not like that. It's got to be a true highlight, whether it's a wide receiver, saucing a cornerback up and then taking the top off and then hot pointing the ball and coming down with it for a touchdown. It's stuff like that. I have players asking me all the time, like whether I should, purchase a recruiting service or whether, how can I get recruited? Mm-hmm. And the thing is you can purchase those recruiting services. They can only help you. It's funny because a guy actually asked me through, Twitter, should I purchase this recruiting service? And I asked him why, and he said to get my name out there. And, I was like, it's funny because you're talking to me now. So, like, you're already getting your name out there. You're already talking to these coaches and stuff like that. So it's pretty great in the world that we live in as far as social media, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Instagrams and stuff like that, where you don't have to mail out your film.
I get a lot of athletes in my DM all the time asking about these recruitment programs. I want your honest opinion. What's your view on these recruiting programs?
Honestly, it's hard to have an opinion with the the unknown, because I don't know what they're doing. No one knows. You can only have faith in somebody that, in their word as far as what they're putting into. You can hope that they're throwing your huddle film around everywhere to all the coaches, but you never know. Me personally, we do use stuff like that just because I like to give everybody a chance, and whether it's a 1 minute glance or 2 to 4 minute glance, but that's not for everyone. I can't speak for everyone. I can only speak for myself and my coaching staff. So you have to go with your faith on that. Whether you want to spend a few $1,000s to do that, or whether you just want to, personally send out emails, Twitter DMs, see them face to face, whatever it might be. That's up to you.
Do you appreciate persistence? Like when an athlete feels like you may have not seen his stuff. Do you appreciate him sending it again and sending it again and sending it again?
Mm-hmm. I do appreciate that, because I feel like everyone is trying to get to the next level. That's everybody's dream, and everybody has this hype about Division I, Division II, Division III, and really is no different. College football is still college football. Right. So I do like the persistence of everyone trying to get to the next level. As annoying it might be sometimes, I know coaches definitely, put everything, or our coaching staff definitely puts everything on the recruiting board, whether it's, whatever, how good you are. It's noted, and we get back to you to let you know, hey, we're interested. Hey, man, we've already filled our rosters. So, right. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's all going to work out for that person. For sure. They're going to end up somewhere if they just work hard enough. And yeah.
Nice. So, another question. Actually, not even a question that I really get, but I feel like it's a question that we all really need to know the answer to, and to honestly be real with ourselves if we are in that high school, everything's sunshine and rainbows mindset. At what point in time do you look at a recruit's GPA?
First thing.
First thing.
Yeah, first
thing.
thing. Yeah, first thing actually. We're looking at your GPA. Actually, we're looking at your core GPA. Your overall GPA is great. Your core GPA, as far as your Englishes, your math, your sciences.
You get an A in woodwork, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, it does help out your overall GPA. However, everything's based off your core GPA and your test scores. So, it's a big deal as far as, that's not my first question whenever I walk into a coach's office, whether I'm talking through via, text message. My first question always is, well, what kind of person is he?
Right.
What's his character like? What is he like off the field? What is he involved in? Because, I want somebody that's genuine and that, means what they say and, just overall good guy.
Nice. I want to transition to transitioning. What do you say to those kids that are transitioning from high school football to college football? How much of a commitment is that going to take?
It's definitely a dramatic transition, to say the least. The commitment level has to be real. It has to be 100%. You're not the biggest. You're not the biggest fish anymore in the small pond. You're now the small fish in the big pond now.
Right.
So you have to do every little thing right. And with that, you have to do everything right in the classroom. You have to do everything right in the film work. You have to do everything obviously right on the field, but you also have to do everything right in the weight room and the cafeteria as well, because guys are obviously getting bigger, faster, stronger, and you have to be doing the same thing,
right?
Or you're just gonna get left behind.
Yeah.
With that being said, it's a job. It's a everyday job. You have to work at it. I remember in college where I had to fight and scrap for every rep that I got. That's just how it was.
Right.
There's no oh man, you can get this rep like at 4 plays and none of that. It's like, no man, you have to fight for every rep. And you come in, you're trying to get a guy, and he's like, nah man, like get out of here. It's like, no, and you grab him by the horse collar, and you're like, no man, I'm gonna get my rep. And then there's punches being thrown.
Yeah.
So that's just how it is. You have to want it, and you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want to be a college football player?
So no more ninth grader, go take my spot. There's no more of that.
Yeah. There's no more of that. Especially even I remember in scout team high school, it was kind of a joke.
Right.
Or whether you were holding a pad or a dummy, or whether you're full pads.
Which I always hated. I always hated the stigma of either A, he's just a scout player, or B, he's going too hard on scout team. I hated both of those stigmas, and I still do to this day.
Yeah. There's no scout team All-American in college. There's always a scout team All-American, because you're trying to expose the guy in front of you. If you're scout team cornerback of the day, well, hey, if you beat our first guy, every single rep, and our first guy can't beat the wide receiver right in front of him, well, hey man, it's an eye-opener, So scout team is definitely, yes, you're a service guy. Yes, you're giving the guys a look. However, it's treated probably more serious than anything else, because, like I said, it's a job, and it's all about getting better.
Yeah, I could imagine. You've had the privilege of learning the X's and O's, on the high school level, and then learning the X's and O's on the college level. Anything changed? Anything changed from your X's and O's philosophy? From high school transitioning into coaching college?
Yeah, it's quite embarrassing that you asked that, because if you would have asked me that a long time ago, back when I was in high school nor college, I would have thought that I know it all. I would have thought, hey, this is what we're gonna do. This is my identity. And then you actually get into the coaching realm of things, and your mind completely changes. As far as the X's and O's and stuff like that, I believe, if you want to talk about, would you like to talk about X's and O's?
For sure.
So X's and O's, I'm a 4-3, I'm a 4-3 defense. I'm a over front. I'm gonna put my anchor, strong side defensive end right in front of the tight end and tell him whip his tail every time.
Right.
That helps you out as far as inside or outside release, instead of telling him, hey, get a wide 9, then he can just inside release on you. If you get a tight 7, he's just going to outside release on you. So you know what, let's make it difficult. If he's going to release on you and go out for a route, it's going to be a little bit more harder than him. And also, I expect my defensive end to beat the living breaks off of it.
Win his battle.
Yeah, win his battle every time. He owns a C gap. You know, with that being said, I'm also a 4-3 under guy. I like to, you know, bring my Sam backer down and cover the tight end, you know, put him in, you know, almost in tight 9 to bring down to help with the run too. But I'm a 4-3 guy, you know, 2 high safeties. You know, you can run whatever you need. Cover 2. I'm a cover 4 guy. I actually call it cover 8, but
Right.
people call it different. So I'm a cover 8 guy. You know, you can roll whichever safety, you know, to give whatever, you know, cover 3 you want. It helps, or it messes up the quarterback's vision a little bit. As I'm sure
Right.
you hate that being a quarterback coach.
Yeah.
But no, it's good stuff. And then, you know, sending the heat too, getting in the quarterback's pocket. So.
Do you ever worry about not being able to win a matchup? Are you ever worried about your Sam not being able to cover that tight end?
Or do you give him help maybe?
Yeah, I think you know, as far as if you're, you know, man to man,
Right.
or you know, if you're an under one robber, you're manned up, you know, probably not gonna worry about a tight end, you know, catching a pass from my Sam. If I do, then we're gonna cause a problem.
Yeah.
So you know, I want everybody obviously to be athletes. We're gonna put the best guys on the field. But we're also going to make sure we send the pressure sometimes too, with a violent defensive line and some pretty quick backers too. So
Yeah, you said something interesting. You said you're going to play the best. You're going to play your best players on the field. Yeah. Is that every single time? Is there any favoritism? Or is it just best 11? Go out there.
That's a great question. I think with that being said, when you throw around the word favoritism, I think that has to play a role in it. You know, my favorite guys are gym rats, field rats, or guys that are doing the things right, whether it's the little things or the big things. And I mean, each day you have a job. So like, it's quite funny. It's quite embarrassing. You know, one of my coaching philosophies is your job is the bare minimum. Like, we expect you to do your job.
Right.
Now, for you to make the tackle, that's all the way downfield. That's everything extra. We demand that too. But as far as staying in your gap, that's why I love the 4-3 defense. Staying in your gap, you have one gap unless you're stunting, you know, gap exchanging, or dropping a, you know, end back. You know, you have one job, and that's basically, you know, hold down, own your gap, own your responsibility. If you can't do that, then you won't play. But if you can do that, then and you get the job done, and you're making plays, and the production's up, then you're going to be the guy.
Is that how a player earns a coach's respect? Just persistent weight room, doing all the little things right. Is that the biggest key to earning the coach's respect?
Respect. You know, I think,
Which is a strong word.
Right.
Itself.
you know, I don't know about respect. I think it's expected. You're expected to do those things, and
Might get trussed up a little bit.
maybe you know, actually a lot. You know, your trust, your stock goes up.
Right.
Definitely to be in the weight room, because it's that somebody I can depend on third down, third and long, third and short, 4th and 1. You know, this guy that's working out, you know, all the time in the summer compared to this other guy that thinks like he's just talented, blah blah blah, and he thinks he's just gonna get it done. Well, sorry man, like the guy that's probably working his tail off, I have a little bit more stock in him to get the job done for us.
Right. Are you gonna take talent over hard work, or are you gonna take hard work over talent?
Oh, it's a tough question. You know,
We talking about all this defensive stuff got me hot.
That's a tough question. It's funny that you asked that because you know, someone like me, you know, somebody that wasn't the most talented one out there, someone that worked hard, I think I can definitely you know, speak for myself as far as, you know, am I trusting person, am I you know, dependent to get the job done. You know, it's a tough question. You kind of stumped me on there.
Don't let him watch you. He's talented too. He's a talented guy too.
Okay.
I think, sorry, I think, you know, I think there's definitely times where there's always somebody better. There's
Right.
always somebody better. There's always somebody that's bigger, faster, and stronger. Now, somebody that gets the job done, you know, that's different. You know, because somebody can come in there and you know, win a third down pass play, third and long pass play, and rush the edge and make something happen. But it's what he does to get to that third down play, you know. So
That's a good point.
yeah.
I never really thought about it like that. Another question I think a lot of people would like to know is how much of it, from going from high school to college, how much of it is, because it's all fun in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of business when your coaches are, kind of on you a little bit. Going from high school to college, how much of it turns into business?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a business aspect of it. Getting a scholarship, room and board paid for. I mean, that's what you've earned. So, is there a business aspect of it? I think absolutely. I think you want to play the best players, obviously, but where your money's, you want to play the guys that obviously it's like a product almost. So that kind of answers your question.
It does. Answers it to a T.
So another question that I want to ask is, what is your coaching philosophy? I guess just overall, like, what's your coaching philosophy principles?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think in every day and everything that you compete in and everything that you do in life, you want to win, obviously, because winning is not everything, but it's the only thing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So
Gotta win. Gotta feed the babies.
Yeah. So with that being said, the thing I was talking about earlier, I think I kind of hit on it a little bit, is doing your job is the bare minimum. It's actually funny because the first thing I ever talked about as far as the bare minimum, as far as doing your job, is actually during gassers. Is guys, running gassers and then not touching the line. So what's so funny is that's the bare minimum. Okay, the bare minimum is to touch the line and run back, and then run back and win.
That's the least you got to do.
That's the least you got to do. With that being said, you should want to win. There's no oh, come on guys, we should touch the line. No, it's oh, come on guys, who's gonna win?
Right.
So that was probably one of my first philosophies ever, is doing your job is the bare minimum.
I like that.
We expect you to win at everything, whether it's one-on-one pass rush drills, one-on-one explosion drills, team, half line, whatever it is. And then I kind of moved into this whole, especially the defensive line, is the three things that you can control on and off the field and with life is your knowledge, attitude, and effort. Your knowledge as far as everything that you retain from putting the effort in, as far as your playbook, as far as your studies, as far as whatever it may be, whatever you're doing. Whether you're an accountant, you got to be good at numbers, because that's the knowledge that you need to have. Whether you're a student or a teacher, you have to know your subject that you're teaching. And a football player, you have to know the playbook. You have to know the reason why we do things. And then your attitude, of course, is everything on the field. You're obviously facing against some type of adversity, whether it's an offensive lineman holding you, defensive lineman, grabbing your face mask, whatever it is, and the referee's not calling it. So, that goes with life. You're going to work for people that you don't like, as far as bosses and stuff like that. And, am I saying that you should just quit and leave? But no, you should try to work through it, because, that guy might know somebody, and so on and so forth. And then your effort, that kind of goes with everything. You can control your effort in whatever you do, which is really big for me, because no matter what you have to control the controllables. So with effort, no matter what happens, I'm going to give them all, basically. And because one day you're going to be a husband, one day you're going to be a father, and and you gotta make sure that they are able to depend on you and to get everything done.
For sure. You said something interesting that I kind of want to touch on a little bit.
Yeah.
You said not only do you have to know what you're doing, you have to be good. You have to know what you're doing. I feel like, but to be great, you have to see the bigger picture. You have to see what it means, what you're doing, what it's contributing to the team, and you're just a gear that's making one thing work, right?
Exactly. No, I think that's definitely, you have to see the one player, is 1/11th of the team,
right,
as far as the defense or the offensive side of the ball or special teams. Like you said, that was a good point. You're one gear.
Right.
If you mess up, everybody pays,
Right.
you know. So you got to make sure that you're doing your job, so that the big picture can happen, and overall the big picture is hopefully victory. And if it's not, then you can learn from it, you can move on, and you have a bigger lesson from it. So
Yeah, you're gonna learn a lot more from that. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna end on a relatively light subject. So the question that I'm pretty sure everybody's like wondering, am I wrong? Let me know.
Curious.
What was it like? Because me and you go way back. We played my junior, senior year was his sophomore and junior year. You protected my blind side. So the question that everybody wants to know is, what was it like playing with your boy James Fields?
It was very I was very privileged and honored to play with James Fields.
Thanks, man.
You know, blocking for him, blocking his blind side. Not saying I was very good at it, but
I didn't get sacked much.
but no, it was definitely a privilege. You know, there's a saying, you know, I am because of other people, and that's true. I mean, I didn't have to block obviously long, you know, during each play because, you know, you got the ball off fast, and I mean, we were a spread offense, run and shoot, air raid, whatever you want to call it. But you made it look easy, and you made our jobs easier, and no, it was very it was a blessing.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, good times, great times. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you coming through, taking some time off from recruiting. I know you're recruiting currently right now. So yeah, man, I'm gonna sign off here. I appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man.
Take it easy.
You too. Like and subscribe. Your boy was here.